to the session. This is the final session for our course web development. It is called JavaScript. As we discussed earlier, JavaScript is a part of web that provides functionality to the existing components. So what is that functionality and how it could be provided? Let us have a deep look over it. Okay. So what is JavaScript? It is a object-oriented programming language that is optimized for web languages. See, Java, we know about Java, which is very popular in programming languages even today. What is the uniqueness of Java? Using it, we can provide enterprise level applications within very small fraction of time. So what if the same ability can be delivered to the websites? So the best alternative will be suggested to provide functionality is JavaScript. Okay. So please go through the notes about it. Within 1 second, we'll be continuing with the next topic. As you can see, they discuss about a topic called dynamic website. Means what? The website that provides the output, a dynamic level output, by taking the input. Depending upon the input which we give to the application, the output for our application will be in a dynamic manner. Means rapidly changing input is equal to rapidly changing output. That's it. Okay. So let us move on further. What are the features of JavaScript? Why you should prefer JavaScript only? See, these are the reasons I have showcased here, but I would like to give some more suggestions to you. What are those? See, JavaScript is useful in 3 topics or 3 main uses of JavaScript. Use number 1, no need of any installation. Number 2, all the modern browsers will support JavaScript for sure. Number 3, you can provide enough functionality within less lines of code. So these are the 3 most important purposes and the features of JavaScript, right? So now let us move on further to know more. So now variables in JavaScript. See, what is a variable? A name given to a value. What is the purpose of giving a value name? See, every programming language will do the same thing, right? Will store the data in the variable and will perform operations on the variable to yield a result. Same way, in JavaScript also, the variables play a vital role in providing a neat output by storing the data in a container called variable. Okay. So let us move on further to know more. See, there are some rules to create a JavaScript variable. What are those? You should use a letter at starting of a variable name. Like, you should not start a variable with a number or symbol. Clear? Second rule, it is a case sensitive language. Means, see, capital A is not equal to small a in JavaScript. Remember this most important point. And JavaScript names often use camel representation, which will be like after small a you should write a capital A. Sometimes it's not all the moment. Okay. Now, so local variable in JS. So in order to declare a variable in JavaScript, how it is going to work? So I think it won't be enough clear to you. So I would like to show it through the output here. I have a code and I'll show that code as an example how to create a local variable in JavaScript. Okay. So let us have a look at that. So here is the code, guys. So in this code you can observe we have created a web page that contains what? A division called res. In that division we create the variable with 2 methods. Method number 1 using the where keyword, method 2 using the let keyword. What is the difference between where and let? See, it's very simple. The where keyword will define a variable that can be defined. Like for example, see, now I am writing the code like this. See, where I is equal to where I is equal to 7. So if I'll execute this code, see what will happen. You will see the value is replaced here. Now, what if I do the same thing using the let keyword? So I changed the values and I'm displaying. See, there is an error here. Why that error appeared here? Because, see, have a look. The values, the variable that is defined with the let keyword cannot be changed, cannot be defined again. In other words, let is used to define a constant value. Am I clear? So let value is used to define a constant value. So see, here I am removing this line for a better explanation. So here I am displaying the data types, the variables that are having different data types in JavaScript. So here I is equal to 5. What type it would be? What type of data type we can expect it? It is an integer, right? Now and then next, hello, it is a string, right? It's a string. What is a string again? A collection of characters. Now then, next, here true is actually a string, but we should not consider it like that, because according to the programming language we can term it as Boolean data type. So it have only two values, either true or false. Am I clear? So now let's execute this code and let us see the output. So we are executing this code now. Okay, so we wrote the comments in a wrong place now, that's why we are not getting the output. That's it. So I hope you all understood what are the variables and basic data types which we use commonly. Okay, of course in the next session we are going to discuss about that only. Just as a brief now I am explaining this to you, right? See, we have the output here. So let's head back to the next topic in our session, that is data types in HTML. So what is a data type in JavaScript? See, data type, the word itself is explaining, we need not to put stress over it. See, data type. See, for example, like I am asking my friend to give water to me. He'll ask hot water or cold water. Means what? It is a special attribute, or it is to define the type of data which you are storing in a location. Clear? The memory location, see, in memory we store the data, that we know, we are clear with it. Using the variables we store it. Now what type of data is being stored in a variable? That is called a data type. So let's have a definition of it. See, there are two important types of data types. One is primitive, the second one is non-primitive. Okay, now see, these are the primitive data types. Means what? Primary and most important data types which does not depend upon any other data type. Like a string need not depend upon any other data type. See, string, number, boolean. See, these are the three data types which you have seen before, right? Now undefined in the sense a value which is unable to define. Now next, null means not even zero, no value at all, or an empty, simple thing, an empty. Okay, now non-primitive data types: object, array, regular expression. So object we will look at the objects later, array also we will look. Now regular expression also, these are the advanced concepts to be learned. Since our tutorial is about basic concepts, we will try to cover up these all in the next session. Okay, now operators. What is the meaning of operators? Operator is a term used to define a symbol that expresses the operation between two variables. See, I take A is equal to 10, B is equal to 50. I am adding them to get a value of 60. Now what is the operation I have done with A and B? Answer 60, A 10, B 50. So obviously it's addition. So now how to show that I have added those two? Simple, by adding a plus symbol, right? So the same way operators will work in the same manner. See, perform operations on operands. So the example, as you can see there. Now let us go further. What are the types of operators that are available in JavaScript? See, we have 6 important types of operators, out of which we will prefer to know arithmetic, comparison, logical, assignment. You may ask me, sir, why we are discussing about only these 4? Because in JavaScript programming, most probably we use these 4 only. The rest of the 2 we will use in very rare situations. That is the reason why we will focus on the operators that will help us mostly in JavaScript. Don't worry, we will learn about all the 6 types of operators, right? And we will execute them also. So now, what are arithmetic operators? Arithmetic, the basic maths operation. Here see, we have the operators as below: plus, minus, star for multiplication, slash for division, percentile for modulus, plus plus for increment, minus minus for decrement. Okay, next. Comparison, it is used to compare two variables. Like see, if A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, is it equal? No. A is less than B, right? So means that to compare two values in the variables, we use the comparison operators. Equal to, not equal to, not identical, greater than. Not identical, not equal to, we will use very less, very rare cases we will be using. Okay, now bitwise operators. These are used to denote the logical operations between those two. See, sometimes in order to make our app work properly, we need to include so many conditions, right? So we can't add too many conditions at a time, right? We can't add nested code. So what is alternative for nested code? Using the bitwise operator or logical operator. Like simple thing, if a number is divisible by both 2 and 3, only then we will count it as divisible by 6. Am I right? So in order to define this, we have 2 methods. Method 1, if divisible by 2, another if condition will appear. Then inside that if divisible by 3, after passing the 2 if conditions, only then the print will work. This will create too many lines of code, which will be a problem for a developer class person. So what is the alternative for it? Simple. Add an AND symbol in between those 2 conditions so that you can add them, as you can see on the screen. See, you can see there are 2 different conditions here. You can see 2 different conditions on the screen that will show you, that will work in a single decision making statement. Okay, nice. Now logical operator. See, the logical operator and bitwise both work in the same manner. Assignment, it is used to assign a value to a variable. Next, special operators. I said no, these are very rarely used operators, out of which these operators, these 2, the question mark and the colon, will be used in order to denote a single line if else statement. Okay, most probably we won't use that statement because we need to work out a lot. Okay, now before we go into conditionals, I would like to show a code that demonstrates the operators. Shall we move on? Right. So this is a code that demonstrates the arithmetic operations that will be happened in between the variables. So for a brief explanation, I would like to show in a very simple manner. Have a look at the code for a better understanding. Okay, so see. Yeah. So see, where A, B. Now I am just adding A plus B. That's it. So I am saving the code and I'll execute the code. See, the A 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. Now if I'll add minus symbol here, what would be the output? Minus 5, right? If I'll add a star there, 50. So that is the logic. Now what I wanted to do is, I would like to display all the operations answers here, like this. See. So see, A plus B is equal to 15, A minus B is equal to minus 5, A into B is equal to 50, and A divided by is equal to 0.5. Why I am producing the result like this? To express the operators, all operators performance here. We can even go for modulus and all also, but for a better explanation and a smaller, since you are beginners in this session, so you need to cope up with the beginner level experiments only, right? So let us move on to the topic, conditionals in JavaScript. So see, conditional. What is the meaning of the word conditionals here? See, a conditional statements which perform different actions based on different conditions. Means that, for example, I will eat lunch if I'll get hungry. I will drink water if I feel thirsty. Means what? If a condition is satisfied, only then the action should be performed. That is called a conditional statement. So in conditional there are many statements we have, like if else and if else if statement. How this will work, I am going to demonstrate a code to you now. Okay. So how the if statement will be worked, if else and if else if also we will show in a single code now. Okay, right. So let us have a code session over it. So all of you see now. So we created a session like this, and now I am going to write the condition. See, I have declared a variable where A is equal to 24. Now, so it's not 24, I would like to add a 6 now. So I am writing the code in such a way. Now see, if A percentage 2 equal to 0. Open the blocks in such a way. Better you create open and block at a time now. Write down document dot get element by ID of arrays dot inner HTML is equal to A plus is divisible by 2. So you may ask me, sir, what is the meaning of this line? Why we are writing? So this you will be learning in the next session, means next later on sessions here. In this session only we have this topic also, and already we have completed the same topic in the HTML DOM section, right? So the same DOM section will be worked out here, right? Now, let us execute this code for a better output. See, 6 is divisible by 2. So understood. Now this is if. Now let us write else if. So I am writing A percentage 5 is equal to 0. 6 no 3 is equal to 0. Better we will write 5 here and we will write 3. Why? Because I want this now this condition to be executed now. Document dot get element by ID of arrays dot inner HTML is equal to A plus is divisible by 3. So the code is done. Now I would like to save it and run this for you. What happened here? I forgot to close the loop. Understood? So you should remember this vital point while you are writing a code. See, the 6 is divisible by 3. The code has declared it. Now I am going to write else. So else is a block that does not require any condition here. Okay, so else, suppose if, so else I am writing document dot get element by id of res dot inner html is equal to a plus is not divisible by 5 comma 7. So as you can see now, see 6 is not divisible by 5 comma 7. So this is the basic structure of if, else if and else. So in such a way we can execute multiple conditions in the if statement using the conditional statements. Right? I hope you all understood. Right. Let's go on to the next. So we have another conditional statement called switch case. Here there is a difference between the if and switch. In if you can create multiple conditions that are related to multiple variables, but in switch case it's not like that. A single variable will define the entire scenario of the application which you are developing now. So have a look how this works. So see. So now a sample syntax of this code is displayed here. Now I have an example of code also for a better understanding, right? So I would like to show it now. So now we are going to explain the topic switch case using a code. So I plan to create a calculator that will take two values, numbers as input, and it will perform the operations depending upon the user's choice entered here. So as you can see, I am taking three variables here, A, B and ch. You may ask, sir, what is the meaning of this statement called parse int? See, document.getElement by id value. In HTML DOM we discussed that it will take input from the user only of string data type only by default. The value which we will enter in a text box will be considered as a string only. So we are using this parse int method to convert the string which we have taken from the text box into integer. Only then we can operate, right? You may ask, sir, what if I remove the parse int? If you want, I would like to show. Simple. It will perform a string concatenation. Means, see, like I am adding a text. See, htm plus l gives rise to html because it's a string, obviously. Okay. So the same output you can experience here. So for an example, I will remove this parse int now for a better understanding, because when you see something you will learn more things. So I would like to show to you. So now see, now the code is ready and we are going to execute it. So have a look at the code now. So see, enter 65 B 25. So I am taking the option addition now. So I am displaying it. See, 65 25 it seems. Is it a correct one now? No, right? It should be a 90. Why it is showing? Because instead of addition it performed string concatenation, right? So let us make them integers by adding the method parse int. So I am adding the parse int method. See, now I will give the same input to this code, 65 25 addition display. See, now the operations turned into integral operations. Clear? So in such a way the switch case will work. So how the switch case works now? It depends upon the variable which I give here, ch. If ch is equal to 1 means I should do addition. If ch is equal to 2, I should perform subtraction. If ch is equal to 3, I should display the product. If CH is equal to 4, I should display the division. So in such a way we need to go on. Okay. So if I add number 5, it should display A percentile D, that is A modulus B. That's it. Okay. Now this is the example for switch case. I hope you all understood. Right. So I will show the code now. So this will be our code. Have a detailed look at the switch case, how we exactly replicated the application here. So this will be a switch case part. Remember how many open braces are there, that many closed braces also should exist. Only then we can get a clear block. Right. Yeah. I hope you understood this. Now, so the topic which we are going to discuss now is loops. What is a loop? A loop is a situation where an action is performed again and again and again and again until a condition is satisfied. Okay, so how the loops, what are the loops that are available here? In JavaScript we have while, do while and for. How this will work? See the while loop syntax is like this. If the expression in the while loop is true, only then the statements will be executed. Okay. Now next, do while, same logic, but do and after check the condition. Means what? First you do the task. After completion of task, you verify it with the condition. If the condition is true, only then you display. So that's the difference between do and while. Okay. Sorry, while and do while. Now, for loop. What is a for loop? For loop will have three important components in it: initialization, test statement and iteration statement. So here is the common syntax for loop. I hope you all confused again. So I would like to show the codes for the while, do while and for also. We have examples for that too. Okay, let us explore them. So see guys, so we have a while loop now. It is a program that prints the numbers, how many numbers we want. So I am here the text box will take limit of the numbers to be displayed. So I am writing a mobile number. However, it will display 98480223338. And guys, this is not my number. Don't try to call me. Okay. Now display. What happened? You want to check it out? Let's go on with the code. So have a look how this loop will work. See, once we enter the data in the text box named n, then it will immediately go to the function r on the click of button called display there. Once it takes the value of n, then it will initialize a variable called I, which is called iterator variable. Means it is the variable that is responsible for repeating the action for multiple times. So while I less than or equal to n, n means how much? The value which we have given in the text box. Display is equal to I plus is equal to I means what? After printing I, the value of I should increase to 1. Okay, in such a way it should display. So I am executing the code. For example, so I am opening the while loop example. So I am writing the 6 and I am going to display. So as you can see, we have got 6 numbers in such a way. Now I will write 100. Now see. Now you may ask me a question, sir, why the output wasn't appeared in before session? Means before when we executed. Answer is I have given too much high value now. That is the reason why browser got confused. But we have a limit at 520011. So I got display. So again there is an issue here. Why it happened such a way? See, because we used it for too many times. Is it clear about while loop? So shall we try do while also? I have my own example for do while also. See. It is a way to access your file using the web browser. Remember, it will come in handy to you as a tip. So we came back to our page. Now we are going to do while loop example. So the same code here also works. See, now I am going to run the same 250. See, now you can see it will display the numbers up to 250. But the difference between do while and while is while loop will run up to 250 times. But this do while loop will run for 250st time. Why? Can anybody guess? Because this loop works. First this loop will execute the statement, only then the condition will be verified. So let us check the code of this page. Shall we see the code of this page? So here is the code of the page. See. Okay. So how this is going to work? As soon as I click the button by entering the value, it will go the same. Same like while only, but instead of keeping while at the starting, we keep do at the start. That's it. That is the difference. Right. Now next, we have another example also, that is called for loop. Shall we go on with it? So again what I will do, I will remove the file name here. So I will be getting the example for loop. So it is a math table printer. Means using this I can print the mathematical table up to the limit what I for. So for example, I am very poor in maths. 16 starts from 1 ends to 100. Means I want 16 table from 1 to 100. See now. See, we have got the result here. See, it's up to 100. Okay. Shall I try once more? Okay. 256, 24 to 100. So now see. The code should work for one time. So let's say 254, 16, 100. So now you can see now. See, the execution is in front of you. Am I clear so far? So how this also works? Let us have the look at the page code. So see, this code works in such a way. Here also the same. See, as you can see the for loop condition. See, here we need not to indicate the I value basically, right? Understood? Yeah, it depends upon the value which we will take for. Okay, so that's it. Now I hope you all understood about the while loop, do while loop and for loop. Let us go to the next topic. So the next topic which we are going to discuss is JavaScript strings. Till now we performed the operations only on integral or the numbers. From now onwards in this session, in this topic, we will discuss about the operations that are to be performed on a string. So see, what is a string? A sequence of a character. Through two methods you can define a string. How? By the string literal. See, using this syntax you can call, or else you can use the string object. Okay, it depends upon your purpose. I prefer the first method. What is your method? Please inform me through the comment. Now, do you want to have a check over this code? I have made an example also for it. Shall we go on for it? Before we go, let us discuss what are the methods that are very commonly used on strings. Char at means what? It is used to locate a character that is placed at index. Okay. So for example, I will show with a better example now. So you can see I am opening a notepad. See, suppose I created a string called s is equal to hello. Now the question is, how many letters do you see on the screen? 5. None. So H E L L O. According to our count, H is at 1, E is at 2, places of the letters according to our count. Now, according to the computer and the string methods in JavaScript, the position should be like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So, a string in JavaScript will be counted in this manner. Clear? The starting letter will be at 0 and the final position will be length of the string minus 1. What is the length of the string? Number of characters in the string. In this string we have 5 characters. So the last letter will be at 5 minus first position, that is 4. Am I clear to you? I think you got a clarity now. Let us move on with the example for a string. So now let us see the operations that are performed on a string in JavaScript. So I am writing a text called welcome. Okay, so I am typing the word welcome on the text box. Now see. Given string is welcome. Length of the string, how many letters are there, children? It's 7. 0 to 3 means first 3 letters. We can use the replaced string method with this method. Uppercase, lowercase, concatenated string means we concatenated this with other piece of string. Confused? Do you want to have the check with the code? Okay. So here is the code. See. Here we defined S1 to S6 to define operations that are performed on a string. So the S1 will represent the length of the string. We have seen as 7, right? That is S2. Slice of 0 to 3 means that a given piece of string, if it is cut in a part from 0 index to 3 index, we will call it as slicing. Next, replacing method. See, using this method, you can replace a character in a string, which might be at any place, but at first location only it will be replaced, not at the second location. If you see in the output clearly, I replaced O with E, right? So the E is in both places, second place and the last place, but it replaced only the first location. Early located element only will be swapped. Remember this crucial point. Next, uppercase, lowercase, and the last one is concatenation. Concatenation means what? Adding 2 strings. These are the commonly used string operations in JavaScript. Clear? Any doubts? If you have a doubt, remember, have a look at the code, try to replicate my code, and you will get the answers for sure, right? Good. Let us move on to the next topic, which will be most important to you. So the last topic of this session is JavaScript events. What is the meaning of event? A event is a thing that is happened to a HTML element. Like see, we create the buttons, right? We create the text bar, track bars, check boxes. What if we click them? We put the mouse pointer over them. So those all are events only, right? Say for example, I have a paper with me, right? I have a paper with me. What are the things might happen with this paper? I can write something. I can use it to clean my face. I can throw it. I can even make paper rockets with it. So these are the things that are happen to a paper. See, after all, a paper can be experienced these many things. What about the elements in HTML? So let us verify what are the possible events on different elements in JavaScript. See, we use mouse like click, mouse on. So these are the operations that are performed on this hardware. What is this? What is this? Mouse. So click, mouse over, mouse out, mouse down, mouse up, and mouse move. Go through the description and just try to understand what is the event that is going to happen with the mouse. Now the next set of events, keyboard events. It's very simple. If I press a button, If I press a button on the screen, depending upon that, it will recognize that event. Next. These are form events on submit, on change, on blur, like that. Next. So I would like to show you an example for it. After then we will end the session, right? Now you may ask me, sir, why you brought us to the strings application? We have already completed now. You can see here when a button is clicked, see, you can see on click means what? If I click the button, then it should go to a function called str. So where is str, guys? In the script tag with the name str. Means what's going on here? Can anybody give a clarity? See, it is a method that is adapted for buttons on click, on resize, on hover. These are the sum of the properties of a button. These are the possible events that you can expect through a button. So I hope you all understood about the events. With this, our session is completed. I hope you all have a basic ideology about what is JavaScript, how the JavaScript is helpful to us, and how to include the JavaScript in our web pages, right? Remember, don't just see, try to execute the code for a better result.